Welcome back to this series of Light Reading Fast Chats on Mobile World Congress. Terry Sweeney here with Light Reading, and joining me now is Michael Masci, General Manager of Intel's Network Xeon division. Mike, thanks for joining us for this chat today.
Oh, I'm excited for it. Thanks, Terry, for having me.
We're looking back on MWC in Barcelona and the week that was. Curious from your perspective what some highlights and key observations were during MWC.
Yeah, it was great to have the industry back in person. There was a ton of buzz around the event, even in spite of smaller number of attendees than was typical. Especially I was excited about Intel's Built for Wonderful space. It generated a lot of great buzz. We got great feedback on our interactive wall and a lot of our demo stations. But to me, the takeaway and the key highlight is just how exciting it was that MWC showcased the ways that 5G and the edge can transform our lives and society for the better. That was constant theme throughout all the booths, including Intel's. You asked for some highlights. My first highlight was really around vRAN. The network is becoming increasingly software defined and programmable, and it's demanding cloud-like agility, scalability, and flexibility. And I'm proud to say Intel was really a leader in the transition, first with NFV over a decade ago, and now with industry partners. The radio access network is beginning to virtualize too, with that same software defined and programmable idea. I was excited to announce I'm a part of the Network Xeon division, and Xeon Scalable processors are incredibly part of my business. We announced that the next generation Xeon Scalable processor, codenamed Sapphire Rapids, would have special enhancements which will deliver up to 2 times capacity gains for vRAN.
It seems like you're really erasing some of the distinctions around networks in general. We're not really talking so much about mobile networks or cloud networks. It's simply becoming the network because they've become this blended entity. Does that match your perspective? Yeah,
what you just said really resonates with our perspective, right? Our customers are not asking for segmented, purpose-built, fixed function portions of their network. They need every part of the network to be able to run every function, really, to make the vision that I talked about with 5G and Edge a reality. So we're really excited about it. The second big highlight I would mention is really the build out of that intelligent edge. And how we're really seeing AI and specifically inference over video as one of the most exciting workloads at the edge. We got to announce as Intel the release of 2022.1 OpenVINO Edge Inference Toolkit, which is a huge follow-on to our previous 2021 version, which has gotten a lot of traction with the developer community. That specific release was up 40% over the previous generation, 2020. So it's showing that the developer buzz around MWC and the edge and inferences is large.
Quick point of reference, inference in video. Just describe what that is for viewers not familiar with it.
Yeah, sure. So 75% of all internet traffic is video, whether it be video that we all consume through video on demand services that you're likely familiar with, but more importantly, businesses and enterprises are increasingly using cameras and visual recognition in order to extract opportunities and services. So for example, we talked about, and we had a demo at MWC that has fault detection in factory, where there's actually a camera that's taking video of, and how do you know from thousands of hours of video what the most meaningful small piece of data that is the insight that you need to improve your quality? That's an example of where AI and OpenVINO really shines in being able to take that mountain of video data and distill it down into those insights for action.
Any other observations from MWC?
Yeah, one that's near and dear to my heart because it's a product that our organization helped develop and build is the launch of the next generation Intel Xeon D processor that we previously codenamed Ice Lake D. It was the first SoC and the first Xeon that was built from the ground up for the software-defined network and edge. And we couldn't be more excited to see how it's going and how to make one wonderful happen with it. The participants in MWC are incredibly excited to get it in their hands and to really see what it can do.
Sounds interesting, Mike. Tell us a bit more about the launch of the Intel Xeon D.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this is the first Intel Xeon SoC that was really built for the network and edge. And in addition to that, we really built it from the ground up with our critical customers. And the focus from those customers was very clear. We need to deliver scalability, integration, and unique form factors to meet their usage models and requirements targeting the edge and 5G in multiple environments. So in addition to that, not only being able to operate in multiple environments with that type of software scalability, performance was critical for our customers. And they were critical workloads that they wanted us to focus on. So some examples, just to give you some highlights, we're delivering up to 2.4x improvement on visual processing inference, like I mentioned before, on the AI technology and inference over video. We're delivering up to 1.7x improvement in complex networking workloads like 5G UPF, and up to 1.5x improvement in IPsec, which is critical for edge workloads in SD-WAN and SASE use cases, for example.
Any other opportunities that it opens up for customers?
Yeah, we've had Xeon D processors before with our previous code names Broadwell D and Skylake D, and we've had great success in things like security appliances, enterprise routers and switches, cloud storage, et cetera. Increasingly, those same customers are really asking us, how can they take those form factors, knowing what's happening at the edge, and add the type of compute and processing that can allow them to take advantage of the data that's being processed and how they can harness it for insights and revenue in those existing form factors. So just as a tidbit, we talked about this at MWC. Deloitte recently published a report that 70% of enterprises will be processing data at the edge by 2023. So customers couldn't be more excited to use these products in addition to what they've been doing with them to expand their opportunities for insights and revenue.
Great stuff, Mike. Thanks for sharing those perspectives from MWC with Light Reading viewers. Thanks for joining us for this chat today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Terry, for the time.
We've been talking with Mike Masci of Intel. This has been Terry Sweeney for Light Reading. Thanks for joining us for this chat. We'll see you next time.